It's a new day in Space Engineers, and last episode I said I was gonna show you guys how I'm setting up my drone, so if you want to do the same, well, this one will guarantee work. And I'm gonna tell you about some of the issues that I've been running into while trying to figuring out this shit myself. Now, this is not the same drone we built in the last episode. My server setting seems to be a bit too, well, you know, hateful. It didn't clean away my first drone because it thought it was trash. So the one I actually built here last episode, that one is running over to the magnesium field now, and I just threw something together here so we can set up a new one that will go down and get our stuff down at the ice. So what do we need? Well, to start off with, I'm gonna have a clean toolbar here to make things a bit simpler. Well, the first one is gonna be a personal thing. This one is not something you need to do. I'm just gonna add a beacon to my ship because my server is cleaning out the trash a bit hard. So I think the beacon actually might prevent that. You do you on that part. The important thing, you need gyros as always. And the bigger ship you have, the more gyros you need. So on this one, just to make sure everything is running smoothly, I'm gonna add 2 of them. So 2 gyros. We want to have cameras, because when we take control of the ship, we want to be able to see where we go. We want 2 cameras. And we want event controllers. And we want 2 of the event controllers. One of them is gonna check our cargo, and the other one is going to check our battery power. Now, if you are building a hydrogen one, you're still going to need the event controller, and you're also going to need a couple of small batteries to actually run these things, because the hydrogen itself will not do that. So it's going to be the same outcome anyways. And we want the remote control, because we want to be able to actually control this ship and program some waypoints. We want the AI flight move, which is this one. We also want the AI recorder, and we're gonna add 2 of these. We also need timer blocks, and we want 4 timer blocks. Sandbox is gonna give us the option to actually trigger different actions depending on where in the chain of events we are. So 2 gyroscopes, 2 cameras, 2 event controllers, 1 remote control, 1 AI flight move control or block, 2 AI recorder task blocks, and 4 timer blocks. And not to forget, we want the antenna, because we want to be able to control the ship as well, or at least be able to communicate with it. So let's start off. We're gonna start off with placing down our recorders. Now, as you can see on the recorder, you have an arrow there, and it actually says R for right on the side. It says front, it says left, and it says rear panel. This one is kind of crucial. You need to make sure it's facing the right direction. Like the F needs to be in your front position of the ship. Also, when placing these down, you need to put them dead center on your connector. If not, well, you're gonna have issues with the docking, because of some reason the AI believes this is where you're gonna land. So if you put them in the front, it's gonna try to dock there. There are ways to actually get around this, because I had to, because I didn't build it like this the first time. I'm gonna do it now, because this is supposed to be the way to avoid some issues. So we got 4 of them there. Now I'm gonna add our timer blocks. I'm gonna add them on each side here. Let's weld these guys together. And now we want to add the AI flight move, and you have the same thing there as well. You have the forward facing one, you have the left, rear, and right. So I guess we need to make sure this one is in the correct direction as well. You also want to add the remote controller, and you can see you have 2 arrows on it. Make sure they point forward. So there are 3 blocks you really need to make sure are facing the right direction. Then we want to do the event. So I'm going to add one event on each side here, just to make it a bit tidy. Let's weld these things up together here. Okay, so that's 4 timer blocks, 2 AI recorder task, AI flight move, and 2 event controllers. Now we need to put down our gyroscope, so I'm going to put that one there, and we need an antenna, so I'm going to put that one right here. And I also want my beacon to make sure my server doesn't clean out the shit here. Let's weld up this together. And we're gonna go below the ship. And I'm gonna add another gyro here. We're gonna add 1 camera in the front. Make sure you have the white dot down to the left. And I'm gonna add a camera at our connector. So let's weld this up. So I got 2 cameras, we got 2 gyros, got the 4 timer blocks, the AI flight move block, the 2 recorder blocks, remote controller, the antenna, and my beacon. So let's go and actually set things up here, because I want to name things to make life a bit easier for me. So I added a control panel here, so I can easily access my ship. You do you on that part. So I'm going to call this Drone A control panel, just so I know. It makes life a bit easier. We got the event controller. Let's call this one Drone A event controller cargo. And do the other one. We're going to call this battery charge. Got the gyroscope, so I'm just gonna like that, just so I have them. And I guess these guys can actually hidden. We don't need to see them. We got our antenna. Let's call this one Drone A antenna. Got my beacon. I'm just gonna call Drone A beacon. We got our cameras. First one should be forward. The other one should be at the connector. We also have the AI flight move. So let's change that one to Drone A, the AI recorder task. Let's call this one for home. This is one we're going to record our waypoints back home. We got the AI recorder here. Let's call this one for the drill. because this is the one we're going to set up the waypoints at the drill. In drone AI flight move, we also want to make sure that we have AI behavior off. We want to turn off the block. We also want to maybe add like 40 kilometers here, something. Gonna add a bit of altitude. We're also gonna have 0 max roll angle and 0 pitch angle and aligned to P gravity. Now, if you do not have your recorder blocks in the center, you might have issue connecting to the connector. You might be a bit off. So in that case, turn this one off. And I would assume it's going to be the same here. If you can't hit the connector correctly, just turn off the P gravity on there and you should be fine. We're also going to turn off the AI recorder stuff here for now, just to make sure everything is turned off, because we don't want anything running when we actually start the drone. So turn off the blocks, turn off AI behavior, both the recorders, AI flight move, turn off the block, turn off AI behavior. You should also turn off collision avoidance and turn on precision mode. Set your speed as you desire. I usually start slow and then just ramp up the speed later when I see everything is working. Align to P gravity, 0 pitch angle, 0 max roll angle. We should be fine. We got timer blocks. We're going to call this one for load. This is where we dock to our rig. And I'm going to set up the load. We also want to have the return, which kind of explains itself. Drone A time block return. We also have this one. I'm going to call this for unload. This is when we get back to the base. We're going to unload. We're going to trigger the events for charging batteries. And we got the last one, which is going to be our trigger block, which starts the whole chain of events. We also have our remote control. So I'm going to change the name on that one as well. Make sure it's Drone A remote control. We're going to make sure we have collision avoidance off. We're going to have precision mode on. Assign camera. Well, we're going to have our forward camera, because this is the first camera we're going to get when we take control of the ship. Flight mode is going to be circle. So now everything should be pretty much set up for us to start programming the ship. Now what we want to do as well is actually to take control of the ship now and set up our hotbar, so we can easily control the ship and do our programming when it comes to the waypoints. So I'm gonna do the batteries. Let's see, let's turn those on auto. And we want to turn on our thrusters. And I want my connector to unlock. The battery in auto, thrusters are on, and we are unlocked from our connector. Now we should be able to take control of the ship. Now before you do anything stupid here, you want to make sure you actually have an antenna. And also you want to make sure you have the radius needed to be able to keep in contact with your ship. And the same goes for your ship. It's set to 5,000 meter. You can ramp that one up if you need to. All depends on how far you need to go. Let's hit Shift K. It should give us our grids we can control. I already renamed my drone to Drone A, just to make life a bit simpler. And if you want to do that, when you have control of your ship, press K, go into your info, and you can change the grid name there. I don't think it works when you are actually docked, or at least I haven't been able to. Now we need to set up our hotbar here. So let's press G. You want our camera? Let's put that one on the first one. Select view. We want our connector. Select view. And we want to do our connector. And we want to have that one to lock or switch lock, to be honest. That way you can just use one button instead of two. We also want the ability to turn off our block, because when we are reaching our first waypoint there, we want to turn off the connector so we will actually get a bit closer. I also want to be able to get my thrusters, toggle block on off, and I want to be able to do my recharging of the battery. So let's do that one. Now we also need two more things. We need our recorders. So we're gonna start at the drill and record our waypoints. So we're gonna grab that one, do number 8, go at the bottom and select add waypoint. Then we're gonna do the recorder home, put that on number 9 and add waypoints. And we should be all fine and dandy. So if I press 2, I can see below me. Press 1, I see in front of me. And I should be able to easily navigate over to our connector here. Can switch camera. And I can stand above it, get down, and actually dock if I want to. Well, we got our drone all set up to start programming. So let's disconnect this one so we can take control of it. So we want to do the battery on auto, and we want to do the thrusters on, and we want to do the connector. So now drone is floating and everything is on, so we should be able to take control of it. So press Shift K on your keyboard or press inventory and you will be able to click remote access up in the corner. And we want to control drone A, which I already named it. So we want to go over to our rig, do our first waypoint. And why am I starting there? Well, because we need to go back and trigger the chain of events later to get the drone started. So let's start over here. Now you want to fly on top of the connector here. Change my camera. I want to turn around because I want my drone to be in a specific direction. And we want to fly straight down to the connector just to make sure we are aligned. Now from here we're going to go up and you decide what height you want. Now I want to make sure I'm above everything I can crash into, and also I want to do a waypoint that is a bit out from my platform. So this is where I want to set my first waypoint. And we're gonna do the drill recorder waypoint. That's button number 8. So hit 8. Now if I go into our control panel and go to our AI recorder drill, you should see that we recorded the first waypoint. Okay, so we want to be going backwards, straight above the connector. And you will make your next waypoint and drop down to the connector. Make sure you're landing straight on it. Now we're going to turn off the connector, which means we can go even a bit further down and make your last waypoint. Now, why did I do that? Well, because if you are hovering above the connector with the connector active, it might actually be too far away from the drone to be able to connect automatically. So you want to be even closer. Now we're gonna go back home and we're gonna make same kind of waypoint on our connector here. And I want to be facing outwards, so I'm gonna look out across the ice, change my camera so I can actually see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna put myself straight above connector and I'm gonna go up a bit, and yet again I want 3 waypoints, so I'm going out. I'm going to take my first snapshot. This time I'm going to use the home recorder, so that's button 9. Hit that one. Get ourselves the first waypoint. Get above the connector. Make your second waypoint. Go down to the connector. Oops. Yet again, I'm having my connector turn on so it will actually stabilize and be on top of it. Then I'm turning my connector off, going a bit closer, and I'm hitting my last waypoint. Okay, now our drone has our waypoints set up, so I'm gonna dock it again, and I'm gonna turn off my thrusters. I'm gonna put my battery to recharge, so we are full whenever we are done here. Okay, let's go into the drone. You don't have to connect it. If you want to do this, having it floating above, that's perfectly fine, and it will be easier for you to find the stuff here. But as we already named our things, starting with drone A on everything, it's gonna be quite simple to find whatever we need. I'm just gonna put drone A in my search field there, and all our stuff will be available. So we got our AI recorder drill. I'm gonna start with that one. This one, we made 3 waypoints, one bit up and up away from the rig, then straight above the connector, and then on top of the connector. Now, what are we going to do when we are there? Well, when we are on top of the connector, we're going to set up an action. And our action is going to be our load timer block. So we want to make sure when we are there, we want to lock and we want to load our drone. So you choose this one, right click and choose start. And now our recorder drill has done everything it needs. So let's go over to the load timer block. What do we want this one to do then? Well, first of all, it's going to put it on silent so it doesn't make any noise. And we're actually going to press control, get that one up, and we're going to do a 2-second delay just to make sure the ship ain't wobbling and losing contact with the connector. We are hovering above the connector and we want to lock it. So let's find that one, right click, lock. And we want to turn off our thrusters. So toggle the thrusters off. And if you set up your refinery or something correctly, you will now push your cargo into the drone. Okay, So how do we get it to leave? Well, we're gonna use our event controller cargo. This one will make sure that our cargo is filled to equal or greater than, say, 99%. Whenever our cargo is filled with 99%, we need to make sure it's actually doing... We need to make sure it's checking the right cargo. So let's add the modular cargo there. Seems like I forgot to rename that one. So on the modular cargo is greater or equal to 99%. We need to make an action. So let's select action. And we want to go home. So we're gonna trigger the block. The return block. Right click on that one, choose trigger now. So whenever the container is full, it's gonna trigger our return block. If you have several containers, make sure you click the AND gate. Okay, so we have done our AI recorder. We follow the waypoints. We triggered the load one, which starts the event control cargo. The cargo is full, which will start the return block. And the return block, we're gonna do that silent. We're gonna give it 2 seconds. Yes, you can actually do it in 1 second as well. Just making it a habit. And what do we want this one to do? Well, we are now currently docked. Our thrusters are off. So I guess we need to start our thrusters. Toggle block on. And we need to disconnect. And we want to make sure our AI recorded drill, the one we used to do the waypoints down to the connector, we want to make sure this one is shut off. So right click on it, toggle block off. And also right click on it and choose AI behavior off. Instead, we want to use our AI recorder home because we want to do the 3 other waypoints now. We want to actually go back home and land at our connector. So right click on that one, turn the block on, turn the AI behavior on, and we need to do a play on off. Also we need to play those waypoints. So we are starting our thrusters, we are disconnecting, we are turning off the AI recorder drill, turning off the AI behavior on the drill, we are turning on the AI recorder home block, turning on its behavior, and we are running a play on off. Now you might say that you didn't start the drill. Well, we're gonna do that in a different block. So that's the start of the chain. We started our return block, disconnected and started the thrusters, and it should run our AI recorder home now. And on this one we have 3 waypoints again. We have one above and a bit away. We have one right above the connector and one which is down on the connector itself. Making sure AI behavior is off on these guys as well. We don't want anything running now. And when it's touching connector, we need it to set up an action. And what do we want it to do? Well, we did make a unload block. From a timer block, unload. So this one is the one we want to start. So right click on that one, choose start. Don't choose trigger now, because you want a bit of a delay, else it might actually miss out on connecting the connector there. You won't be able to lock it. So choose start now. So the AI recorder home does waypoint 1, 2, and 3, and then start the block timer unload. Okay, so Let's go to the unload. Lock. I'm gonna push silent. I'm gonna give it 2 seconds. And then we need to do some setups here. So what do we wanted to do then? Well, we wanted to connect with our platform, so let's lock it down. We want to turn off the thrusters. Toggle that one off. And the batteries, I'm gonna put those on recharge. Because now we want to make sure we actually have power to keep doing this. So we are locking, we're turning off those thrusters, we are putting the battery into recharge. We are connected, we are dumping our cargo, but we also need to make sure our AI is also getting shut off. So we're gonna turn off the AI flight move. We haven't started this one. This is the end of the chain, so we're gonna make sure everything is turned off here. We already turned off the drill, so let's turn off the AI flight move. Right click that one, I will block off. We also want to turn off its AI behavior. We want to do the drone AI recorder home, toggle that one off, and we also want to toggle off its behavior. So we turned off the flight move, we turned off the flight move's AI behavior, we turned off the AI recorder home's lock and AI behavior. We are locking, turning off the thrusters, putting in the batteries into recharge. Okay, so we are now docked. Our cargo is empty and our batteries are getting charged. What's gonna happen now? Well, we're gonna have the event controller for battery charge. Make sure we start the event itself. So when our stored power equal or greater than, I'm gonna do my 99% again. And we need to make sure we find all our batteries. It's a shame we can't add a group here, in my opinion. But the white ones should be the ones that are the one connected to the drone. So just add those blocks. And we have several of them, so we need to choose the AND gate. So all the blocks have to reach 99% before the event controller will start an action. And what action does it want? Well, it's gonna start the thing that triggers it all, our trigger block. Do that one, right click, and this one you can trigger now. You don't have to wait for anything. Just trigger that one right away. And let's go to our timer block trigger. So what do we want the trigger block to do? Well, we want it to start our batteries. We want it to start our thrusters. We want it to disconnect our connector. So unlock. We wanted to start the AI flight move. So let's toggle the block on. We want to toggle the AI behavior on. Now we want to do the AI recorder drill. So right click on AI recorder drill, turn the block on, and turn on the AI behavior. And lastly, we want to do a play on off. We're turning on our batteries, starting the thrusters, we are undocking, turning on our flight move, turning on our AI behavior, we're turning on our drill recorder, Starting the AI behavior on the drill recorder, and we are running the waypoints. They are on off. Now everything should be set up. Now in the trigger, I think you need to put your battery on enable auto, else it won't turn on. I can't remember wrong. Or you can do recharge off, but I think it's enable auto and it will actually start up. Also, it's really important before you leave this place, you need to set up your drone accordingly to our unload block. So if we look at the unload block, we want to have the connector locked, we want to have the thrusters off, to have the battery in recharge, we want to make sure that AI flight move is turned off on block, the AI behavior, and also AI recorder home is turned off and AI behavior turned off. So make sure that is off before we start anything. So let's check AI flight move, toggle block off, AI behavior is off, AI recorder drill is off, AI behavior is off, this one off, that one is off, thrusters needs to be off, battery is in recharge mode, and our connector is connected. So we have the green one there. Now to trigger this one, need to have a button we can push. So I set up a panel here. Let's press K. And we want to start the block that starts the whole chain, which is our timer trigger. I'm going to drag that one down here, and I'm going to choose trigger now. So if I click this one, everything is supposed to get online. Let's see. Here we have it. It unlocked. It's driving over to our drill. Now it should position itself a bit outside here. Gonna back so it's above the connector. Gonna go down, connect. That's the green light we want to see. And now hopefully it's getting filled up with some nice goods, and whenever it's full it's gonna take off. Go, it's unlocking, it's flying up. Gonna go for our waypoint number 3. Gonna stand a bit in front of it, and go backwards, go straight above. And it's gonna go down, and hopefully it's gonna lock the connector. There we go, and it's gonna unload. And I assume it already had 99% of the battery, so it's gonna take another trip. That's how you set up a drone. Now remember, if you don't have the AI blocks in the dead center above the connector, make sure you turn off P-gravity. Also, the collision you can turn on in the AI flight move. Don't be fooled by that one. It will definitely avoid collisions, but it's gonna avoid doing anything at all. It's just gonna stand it out in the air here and jiggle around like it's a freaking madman not doing anything. So make sure collision is turned off, and make sure you turn off the gravity if you don't have the AI flight recorder just above the center of the dock, the connector. So yeah, that's how you set up your own drone. And trust me, the things I've said here, I wouldn't say that about the collision stuff and the P-gravity stuff if I hadn't made those mistakes myself. And trying to figure that one out online, yeah, good luck. this game is definitely not flawless. I would love to have collision detection on, but it doesn't really work that well. If you figure out how to actually get it work, drop a comment. I would love to hear what you have to say. And I guess I need to go make myself a printer now, because I got 4 more spots available here for more drones. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Well, that's it for now, guys. A quick and easy little guide to how you're going to set up your own drone. Now, I was talking about the recorder block a lot, having it dead center on top of the connector. If you don't do that, you might also have issues with the drone keeping height. You can also have that regardless. So if you have terrain that goes up and down a lot, I would make sure to actually save the game a couple of times before you release the drone, so you can easily get back to your old save in case it crash and burn. But I do know that if you are running without P-gravity turned off, as I am doing on the other drone, I needed to take my lowest point that the drone was going to, and I needed to have the waypoint start really high. And also at the other place as well, because if that one is too low, the drone is just going to find a straight line finding its way back home, and it will just ram all the bushes and trees that it can find, because the AI in this game is quite frigging stupid. But hey, you learn as you go, I guess. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I really hope you can hit that like and subscribe button, as I actually did try my best this time and go through everything step by step so you could follow along. So until next time, guys, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.